I cannot explain to you guys the levels of frustration. Frustration, like... What's up, tribe, and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me again. If you are new here, then my name is Mariah, and for the last 16 months, my husband and I have been on a journey to conceive rainbow baby number 1. I really just want to thank all of you for all of your encouragement and support, especially on that last video. I felt like a lot of you really connected with me kind of in that way of just being true to whatever your feelings are during this journey in the moment. So I really just thank you guys for always being like very supportive and very encouraging. Of course, I get a number of comments that are not in that realm, but 99% of you guys are just really being that shoulder or that support network or that sisterhood that this community is really all about. So I really just wanted to take a moment to just express how much I appreciate you guys. So in today's video, we are going to be going over the results of the last sperm analysis. I told you guys last cycle on cycle 13 that we were just going through a lot of things. Our lives were very busy, so I didn't really get a chance to sit down and actually talk about it. I know some of you already know that I wasn't really happy with the results of how everything just turned out this time, but I am just gonna catch you guys up to speed on what's going on with that. So just a little mini recap. Jeremy got his vasectomy reversed in July of 2018. We got the initial sperm analysis done December of 2018, and really that's like technically the second analysis because they do one right directly after surgery, like within minutes of surgery. But his post-surgery one was done in December of 2018, and now his second post-surgery one was done in November of 2019. Last December, his results came back phenomenal. They were better than expected, exceeded both Jeremy, and the doctor's expectations, considering his vasectomy was about a 10-year vasectomy. So if you guys know anything about that realm, 10 years is a very long time, and you never know what kind of outcome you're gonna get. That's a long stretch of time, and once you get the reversal done, you don't really know if things are gonna go back to normal or back to in any type of working order. So we were really grateful and really thankful that they did in December. Now when we got the follow-up in November, I was not happy, and I will tell you why. I just have his results right here below, so if you see me looking down at a paper, that's what I'm looking at. So the norms for volume, which means the sample size, are 1.5 milliliters. The norm for concentration is anything that's above 20 million. And the motility is anything above 50%. The morphology, like I said, is above 50% or 14% strict. Our lab only does the strict form. They don't do the overall form. And to some of you who haven't gone through getting analysis done or vasectomy reversals, this probably won't mean a whole lot to you anyway. But I'm sure for those of you who have been through the experience, you understand the importance of all of these values. So when we got it done, it's been about a month now. So when we got it done last month, his volume was 2.4 milliliters, so still above normal, great. His motility was 61%, which is above 50, and it increased by 8% from last December, which is also great. The morphology went from 12% last December to 10%. It's still, like I said, though, within normal range. But the one value that I was pretty disappointed in was his actual count. His count went from 95 million to 28.8 million. That's about a 70% decrease, which is a lot. That is a huge kind of nosedive, if you will, in a year's time. Now, when I got the count back, I was kind of taken back because A, I didn't expect it to be that low, and B, I was just kind of like, something must be off or something must be up. So I double checked just to make sure that I had all the numbers correctly. I went into Jeremy's chart and I looked at everything, and everything was written out there. So there wasn't any mistakes in his chart or anything like that. So these were the actual values. But then I started thinking there's something that I am not seeing here. I do not have that full picture. There's just something that's a little bit weird. So I just got to thinking about what has changed between last year, just on Jeremy's side of things, what changed between last year and this year. And I didn't necessarily share this with you guys because it wasn't even relevant at the time, but now it is. So Jeremy found out about, in I would say late September, early October, that he had an enlarged prostate. So his doctor put him on this medication that was meant to reduce the size and start to shrink his prostate. The drug is called Cadura, and for me it kind of clicked, and I was just like, that's the only thing really outside of just natural factors. That is the only thing that has changed. So of course, what did I do? I jumped on the computer, researched the drug, and lo and behold, this drug, one of the main side effects is it negatively impacting male fertility and specifically sperm count. So when I found that out, I was like so pissed. Like, I was so angry, not at Jeremy, because I know that's what a lot of you automatically assume, is that I'm upset with him. No, I was not upset with my husband. Who I was upset with was his doctor. Now, what you guys don't know is that Jeremy and I share a general practitioner. That's who prescribed the medication. We share him. He knows us as a couple, and he knows us as individual patients. He knows that we have been trying to conceive for a long time. And with that knowledge still, he went ahead and prescribed him a medication that negatively impacts his fertility. I can't even explain to you guys how upsetting that was, and I pretty much wanted to like throat jab him, to be completely honest. I literally just wanted to just choke him out, because it's like, why would you prescribe my husband something that's working against us? So I went ahead, took this information to Jeremy. He went ahead and then called a urologist down at Walter Reed and let them know what was up, and it's like, hey, this is the drug I'm on, and I just got my analysis back, and the urologist was like, oh, well, yeah, that might be very well impacting things. So you should definitely have your doctor switch you to something else. So at this point, I'm just thinking, cool, they will switch him to something else, and his numbers will start going back up eventually, and the impact of the medication is supposed to be like reversible as soon as you stop taking it, pretty much. So I'm like, all right, fine, like that's where we are right now. This is what happened, and we're just going to move forward and deal with the rest. So then Jeremy goes back to our GP and tells him what the urologist told him, and the GP's like, okay, well, I can change you to a different medication. So I'll change you to this medication. Now that medication is called Flomax. It's for the exact same purpose, to shrink the prostate. So Jeremy, of course, went ahead and got his prescription, started taking it, and then for whatever reason, like a week into him taking it, I was starting to think again. Those wheels were starting to turn, and I was just like, let me look up this medication and see exactly what the effects can be. One of the potential side effects for Flomax is to affect male ejaculatory function, to the point where obviously the swimmers are supposed to go up and out. Well, this medication potentially has the impact of preventing them from not only going up and out, but backflowing into the bladder. So basically the doctor changed him from one medication that affects his counts and reduces his counts to another medication that makes the swimmers not even go in the right direction. I cannot explain to you guys the levels of frustration. Like, now at this point, I'm feeling some type of way towards the urologist. Like, why wouldn't you tell us this before just saying, oh, have your doctor prescribe you a different medication, A? And B, as a urologist, why wouldn't you say, there's only 3 medications that you can take for this, and these are the effects they have. You've already tried the one, it lowers count. The second one has the swimmer's issue about them not coming out or not going where they need to go. So here's a third one. We don't even know yet what the third one does. I have yet to really hone in on the research, because we're not going to be doing anything else with touching those drugs until we go speak to a urologist again. Those types of drugs are called alpha blockers. They pretty much have one purpose, and there's not a variety of them. So there's 3 different drugs that he can possibly take, and it seems like all of them have negative side effects when it comes to male fertility. So that was definitely very frustrating to find out. It was frustrating that I I had to do research, not even as the direct patient, because technically Jeremy's the patient. As his wife, I had to do research and find that out myself and then bring it to him so that he can bring it to the doctors. Like that doesn't make any sense to me, and it kind of pisses me off from the standpoint that these doctors are not even doing their due diligence when it comes to like simple stuff. Like I literally Googled it. I don't know if I was on WebMD or whatever, but I literally looked the medications up. Something they could have had a nurse do, or they could have said, you know what, before we flick our pen and prescribe anything else, we'll go ahead and make sure that we have someone contact you with what medication would be best and all the information on it. Any of those options would have been better than them just pretty much blindly prescribing him something without thinking about his health or virility in any other aspect. So that's what we are with his analysis update. Now, as soon as I found out the count, I did, of course, my research as it pertains to supplements and other things. I found that L-arginine can not only help me as far as my lining is concerned, but it also can help with sperm count and sperm health. So I had him start taking the L-arginine. I also had him start taking the Ubiquinol, the same one I take. He's taking 200 milligrams, I'm taking 300 milligrams, and then he already was taking his multivitamin. So I really only just added the Ubiquinol, the L-arginine, and the vitamin B to his regimen, and of course the occasional vitamin C. All four of those pretty much help with overall sperm health, and more specifically sperm count, the health of how they're shaped, and all of that jazz that pretty much makes them strong swimmers. That's what the vitamins and supplements are for. So I had him start taking those as soon as we pretty much found that out. He's been on them for, I want to say, by the end of the year, it'll have been like maybe a month and a week-ish is about that time. So let's say it'll be about 5 weeks. So I don't really expect to see a full-on impact until like mid to end January, since it usually takes about 6 to 8 weeks for whatever supplement to impact sperm count or sperm health. So that's pretty much where we are in our journey as of late. It is kind of frustrating because it just feels like it's one thing after another, and it's just constantly being stacked on top of each other. And I like kind of feel like, please let this be the last thing that's going to pop up for us, and can we just continue to make progress? Because you guys have to realize, I felt like we were making progress when I started the Clomid, and at the same time that I started the Clomid, a week later gotten these results back, which made me feel like we took one step back. So it's a weird, frustrating type of feeling. And of course we cannot do anything about it now. Like, hindsight is 2020. We didn't know then what we know now, but now that we know, we're definitely going to be more conscious and I guess careful about just paying attention to other things that doctors are prescribing either one of us that could potentially affect our fertility on either side, because not all doctors are really looking out for patients in their entirety. They're just looking at one little tiny issue that they have in that moment and not thinking about the ripple effect that it can have on other parts of their health. So as far as what we're going to do moving forward, we're going to continue with the vitamin regimen. We have to go back to speak to a urologist to see about what we can do medication wise. In the meantime, Jeremy has stopped the medication completely because he's just like, I'm not going to do something that I know is going to be at our detriment. But we're definitely making it a priority to go ahead and get in with the urologist so that we can address things on the medication side and also address things on his prostate side of the situation. So that's pretty much all for this update, guys. Like I said, we're just going to keep on moving forward and we will kind of learn more as we go. I will just put it out there, I'm not really looking for any suggestions about what I should be doing as far as his count and health and everything like that. However, if you know of something such as like fertile aid for men, or I think Premama has a for him powder or something like that, if you want to send that to us as a gift, you can go ahead and feel free to go ahead and do that. Our PO box information is in the description as well as on the screen right now. Please, please, please do not flood my comments with suggestions about what we should or shouldn't be doing. It's really not helpful for me at this stage, to be completely 100% honest. To me, if anything, it's more helpful if you offer to send something that's going to help. If you know that of something that's going to help, send the actual thing. Don't suggest that I go look up something or do this or do that, please. So like I said, in lieu of suggesting something like Fertile Aid or Pre-Mama for him, just send it to me. It's as simple as that. Just send it to me. So that's all for this update, guys. You already know the drill. If you liked it, go ahead and give us a huge thumbs up. Subscribe to join our tribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Ladies, you already know I am sending you loads of sticky golden baby dust. I am sending you lots of love. I am sending you all types of positive vibes. I am so grateful and so thankful and so appreciative of all of your support. And I hope you guys are still having a lovely holiday week. I will see you in the next video. Bye.